Hello everyone, I'm Lucas. I'm the Senior Vice President of AI and Automation at Revenue Pulse, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the Marketo MCP, especially how to set it up. It is on beta now, so not everyone has access to it, but to get it, you need to fill out this form that you can find on this page from Experience League. And it is a very exciting new feature, and a lot of people are finding it difficult to install it and to start using it. So that's why we are here today to talk about how to use it. So the first thing is I can read all of this documentation, but we are going to do this installation on Cloud Desktop to begin with. One very important thing to do here is that you have to download this Marketo MCP bridge.zip file and unpack it, put somewhere that you can easily reference. You need to open Claude Desktop, and you also need Node and NPM. NPM comes together with Node when you install it. What you have to do to get Node is just go to this page, nodejs.org, and download it, download the installer, and then install it. Once you run it, you install it, you can verify it is running with these two lines of code that I have here. For example, node that you can put on your prompt, your command prompt, node slash v, npm slash v. You see the versions. If you see the versions, it is because they are working. You installed it, you download this file, you extract the content of the file. So for example, here you can see I have the Marketo MCP bridge, this other Marketo MCP bridge. It has the extracted contents of this one. And if I open this README, I can see it right here. It has all the explanation on how to build it. So it says go to Cloud Desktop, go to Settings, Developer, edit config, and add the following to your Cloud Desktop config.json. To do so, let's go to Cloud. Here is Cloud. You would go here on the bottom, and important, it has to be the app. It can't be on web. Go to Settings. You go to Developer here. Instead, I have already set up mine. Edit config. It will open the location here, and if you open, you can see that I have already configured. Let's just remove it because this is how you are gonna see it in the beginning. You have this MCP servers as an empty JSON object. So let me copy what we have here in our README. It is this MCP servers, everything that is from here to here. I'll add here Marketo MCP test. I have separated my path here easily. Here's the path in downloads as I mentioned. So here's where my file is. If you're on Windows, you can just click on the file, Control Shift C, and do it. One thing though, no, not this one. Here, I can do Control Shift C and copy the path. If I come here and paste it, one small annoying thing is that the bars are inverted, so I just have to re-invert them so I can actually use this. And now I have to get my client ID and my client secret and my Munchkin ID from Marketo, and this would be exactly as my APIs would work. So I have to set it up in Marketo just like I would set it up in the API service. So I minimize all these tabs and I go back to Marketo, users and roles. I can go to roles here. Let's set up a role, a specific role for the MCP. MCP access test. And I want to give this API access, but for example, I don't want to give it user management API. I think all the rest is good. So let's create this. Created my new role for API user only. And now let's create my API only user. So you don't need to create a real email address or a real name. And let's pick the right role, create API only user. After I do this, it's always best practice and needed to create a launch point service connected to this. I can create a new service here called MCP test. It is a custom service. Testing the new MCP. It is the user MCP test at test.com. I can create it and I can view the details here. Everything that you added to that permissions is exactly what your API or MCP will have access to if the tools were configured. So not all of the tools were configured. So for example, even if I left the user management API access available, the MCP wouldn't be able to do it because this is not a tool configured by Adobe on the MCP. It's not an endpoint that they let available for the MCP. For example, delete leads is not available either. But out of caution, I decide not to give access to that endpoint because in the case, if in the future it is available, I don't want it to have access to. So we copy the client ID, we go back here to our file. By the way, this opened in VS Code in my computer. The client ID goes here, but it would open probably in a notepad, something like that, in case you don't have a coding tool. Your client secret here. And the Munchkin ID, as always, is in your URL. We paste it here, we save it. And now what we have to do, I just saved it. I can close this all now. I have to close Claude and reopen it. So I just close it. I like to give it a few seconds to confirm it's fully closed. I can reopen it. Now if I go here, there are a few ways to confirm this is working. If I go to settings, extensions, no developer, sorry, see Marketo MCP test, the exact name that I gave on the config file. If I open this again, see Marketo MCP test right here. This is the name of my server that I gave. Um, Another interesting and easy way to test if the MCP is working, you can go here and you can check in connectors and you can see it is the only one available right now, the same name that we gave in the server. And I can ask it to do a very simple request, find a specific lead. I send that to Claude and it will think, it will check all the tools that it has available. So this means that it already used the tool here and it found the lead and everything that it has. So this is the sign that it's working and you can start having fun with the Marketo MCP. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful to start using it. Thank you all very much for watching.